Austin's airport terminal quickly filled up this morning with passengers who saw their flights being delayed or canceled.
We could drive 20 hours to Utah, I guess, but driving with 3 kids, this little baby for 20 hours in a car probably wouldn't be very fun.
People trying to renew their driver's licenses were just as frustrated when they found out DPS offices were closed because of a statewide system outage.
Trying to reschedule. Getting new appointments is not going to be an easy process.
The trouble can be traced back to cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, which is based in Austin. Microsoft's latest patch contained updates to CrowdStrike's antivirus software. The content had a bug or flaw that CrowdStrike didn't catch.
It was something as simple as Microsoft having a bug from a partner provider that goes to that update that caused all of this.
Chris Humphreys is an Austin cybersecurity expert. He says with computer systems around the world running on the same software, when something goes wrong, it does so on a giant global scale.
It just shows how fragile we can be and how easy it is to have something as, administrative as a patch update and the content being verified to cause such a big damaging outage and affect us globally.
Tonight, CrowdStrike and Microsoft say fixes are in place and they're now monitoring to make sure every impact gets fully resolved. But experts say the human factor means it will be impossible to prevent future outages.
To be able to say we can proactively prevent issues like this and attacks happening all the time is unrealistic. We need to keep striving for that. But the key is going to be how quickly can we recover and get those systems back online.
The parking lot was emptier than usual at the DPS office near 183 and Lake Creek Parkway. That's because the offices were closed due to the CrowdStrike software update glitch. But easily more than a dozen people showed up during the lunch hour.
We were trying to get my license from switch it because we lived in Minnesota. And we just moved here.
The Texas Department of Public Safety posted on social media Friday morning that customers with appointments should have been notified and that its teams were working on a fix.
It makes it more difficult. You gotta spend more time on it.
But lots of people didn't realize they were closed until they arrived, paperwork in hand.
There's always something going on, so have to be flexible as much as possible.
Gary Morrison is already frustrated with DPS.
That's why I came in person to try to figure out why they're sending me to San Marcos when I just live 3 minutes from this office here.
And when is your appointment?
December.
And what month is it?
July.
And today's glitch isn't helping.
Nope. System-wide outage.
Because somebody sent an update
and yes, and everybody's having to reboot their PCs, I guess.
Right, including the state.
Including the state.
Well, it sucks. I don't know what the plan is exactly right now.
Chase Gilda and his family spent Friday on standby, hoping to board a flight to Salt Lake City, Utah for the weekend. But like many around the country and world today, they find themselves affected by the CrowdStrike tech outage.
Basically, it kind of sucked because we were in line for almost an hour just to get to the pre-check, whatever.
It's in the TSA pre-check line where Gilda and his family were notified they wouldn't be able to board their flight.
Basically, she was like, okay, so we have an embargo on all the standbys right now. So all of the delays for not just Delta, but for everybody.
These delays aren't just affecting passengers at home, but abroad as well.
You never honestly think it will happen to you or on this large of a scale.
Scott Seaman woke up to the news of the outages Friday morning in Nassau, Bahamas. He quickly found out he and his family's flight back to Austin were impacted.
Honestly, I was shocked. I mean, of course, you always have to anticipate that these sort of technical issues will happen.
Seaman and his family are flying United Airlines, and he says his 3:30 flight out of Nassau ended up being canceled. He also says he and his family are bracing for changes.
There's always the possibility that we have to stay here in the Bahamas for at least one more night.
In a statement to CBS Austin, ABIA says in part its teams are, quote, working diligently with affected airlines to mitigate the effects of the outage and minimize disruptions to airport operations, close quote. The disruption to Gilda and his family's plans mean they now face 3 puzzling options. Spend $1,000 on plane tickets, drive 20 hours to Salt Lake City with his wife and 4 kids, or miss his father-in-law's birthday.
do Zoom or something with Dad, you know? Do a Zoom call with Dad because it's still his birthday.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.